Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hello, how's everybody doing? What's going on, YouTube world? You guys probably can't hear me. Okay, there we go. It's your girl Kimberly, and of course I'm in the garden. So I wanted to show you guys some things I've already done. All right. The other day I actually cleaned this area out, and which means got all the weed and the grass out. Then I put down the black liner. This is a weed blocker. And then I put up the border for the strawberry patch. This is the strawberries from several seasons ago. So let me let you guys see those. Growing just fine. And because you can train strawberries on which direction to grow, I decided to dig some of those out and put them here. So I did that yesterday so I can have strawberries growing over here, because strawberries grow very wild. They grow like vines, very, very wild. And so with that being said, I was like, okay, let me just spread them out. So I put some strawberries right here, move them from that area, and put them here. So now I have strawberries growing on this side. And then here is my rosemary plant right there. And of course, the watermelon patch. And there's Hootie protecting the garden. And give you guys some updates on some other stuff. So the seeds, the jalapeno seeds that I planted on April the 18th, of course, have not sprouted yet. But that's okay. They're in the soil. I actually put some eggshells on top. Eggshells are really good for your garden. It's like adding that extra protein to the soil, especially if you want to try to do it as clean as possible in regards to not using chemicals. You can use eggshells. Okay. Here's the container with the carrots. Did these on April the 11th, so they haven't sprouted out yet, but they're in there. The other day I planted some onions. A friend of mine was able to go to Home Depot and get some plants for me and some onions, so I was very thankful about that. So I planted some onions in some containers, random containers, because onions don't have to be planted very deep, and it just makes it easier to harvest when they're in containers like that. So those are the onions. This is the row of okra that I planted from seed on April the 18th. It has not sprouted up. I don't see any sprouting up as of yet, but that's okay. And I don't really worry about cleaning this out too much. Like normally, every season my garden is flawless. But this season I was like, you know what? Okra grows 6 to 8 feet tall. So the stalks are going to be sturdy and very tall. So I'm not overly concerned about growth around the base of the stalk. So that's the okra. Okay? Now let's walk over here. Say hi to Hootie. Okay, so I have this old table that I used in my garden several seasons ago to do a vertical garden. You know what? And I decided to use it this season to actually use it as a table. Of course, I had already taken the inside of the table out because it was rotten, so I took that out from last season. And I had it standing straight up, and I was like, okay, I can grow a vertical garden using this. This season, not so much. I decided to go ahead and do a lot of recycling. So I love cranberry juice. It comes in containers like this, okay? So what I did was I took the paper off, okay? I took a knife, and I just cut the top of the container off like this. I took the top off. You don't need that. So I just cut this part off after I took the paper off. And that part that I cut off, when I removed that, that became the base, the bottom. I flipped it over and I put some holes in this so water can drain through that. So I'll show you what it looks like. This is the before. It's a regular jug, plastic jug, recycling. And this is the after. cut the tops off, or the middle part off, okay? That part that came off right there, I use that as a base to catch the water, because again, I put holes in it. You guys know my theory. If you can put holes in it, you can grow in it. So that's what I did with these containers, because I was like, I don't want to throw these away. I can actually use them. So I actually have, what, 5 containers? And so I took that table that I used as a vertical stand to grow some stuff last season, and I just propped it up. I used some just standard fencing post, sit it on top, and I'm going to go ahead and do some planting of some bell pepper plants, because bell pepper plants don't have to go super deep because they grow vertically. All right, so you can put them in a container. As long as you have enough soil in there, they will grow. So here's my soil. I mixed some eggshells in my soil and coffee and several bags of just dry tea. Again, some slightly organic or natural things that you can put in your garden soil to enrich the soil. And let me show you guys an update on the garlic. If you look closely, this is the garlic and the lettuce. I did this on, let's see, April the 11th is when I did the garlic and lettuce. And if you look closely, there's some garlic starting to sprout out. You guys see right there? There is some garlic right there sprouting out. There's another one. There's another one. And remember, this is the garlic that I planted from the garlic cloves that you can buy from the grocery store. Okay? There's another one peeking out right there. I feel like a proud mama. There's another piece of garlic set right there. So the garlic is growing. All right, well, let's go and update you guys on the celery, the potatoes, and the onions. Remember I told you cut the base off the celery, put it in some water in a dish? Bam! There's the celery growing. This was April the 10th. The potatoes are growing, doing just good, doing just fine rather. And if you look closely, you can see the onion growing. See the top? And there's fresh roots in the base of the onion bowl. I change the water daily. If it looks a little dark or a little gray or whatever, I just change the water out. I keep the water fresh. And that's how you can regrow vegetables that you have sitting on your counter or in your refrigerator. So these are the updates from the celery, sweet potato, yellow potato, and onion. It's all growing, only in water for now. So that's the update on the garden, you guys. I just wanted to show you that. I washed my rocks too from 2 seasons ago. I didn't buy new rocks. I dug them up. When I cleaned this area up, I took all those rocks, put them in there, and I washed them really good. So I'm going to recycle and use those same rocks this season. You guys got to learn how to minimize costs and cut down on the stress of being out amongst people. So start looking around your house to see what you can use to put in your garden as decor, or if you've had a garden from the seasons before, recycle those things, use them again every season. It doesn't matter. You will still have a productive and great harvest every season. So back to work. I have some bell pepper plants, and I'm going to do a squash plant in a container also. But today we're just going to put in the bell pepper plants in these containers. Recycling 101 with Kimberly.